Oh, oh. Okay, so do you know how long it takes for the minion wave to arrive mid?
I don't know the exact number. I just know it's a smaller number than that for top and bot.
Mm-hmm.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Do you know roughly how much smaller?
Depending on the map. This map, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much, but it's a big no. It's a lot because the lanes are quite far away from each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's roughly like 8 seconds ish.
Okay.
From the top of my head. Now that sounds like quite a long time, but it's gonna take you like 4 to 5 seconds to rotate from mid. Right? And a lot of the time, people will, well, your team or their team will go to these points and AFK here for up to a minute.
Yes. Oh, God.
And in that case, as someone with high wave clear, someone that is really strong while fighting in waves, and someone that really sucks without all of her talents,
I don't concern myself with the watchtower.
you don't want to brawl here. At most, you can look for a quick spear into slam, and then you're out. You go back to wave, you have enough rage left to auto attack twice, then spin on the wave. And then you go to bottom or top, whichever is more free. And then if your team is still brawling, you take the tunnel and you take the other wave, and bam, you've triple soaked. Well done. Now,
all right, no, I'll keep that in mind. I never really thought to go to, because usually they're going to be brawling over the top most Zelnaga tower.
Mm-hmm. Then you just go bottom, and then you just take this tunnel, and then like the wave will be here. You'll miss like 3 minions, but you'll still like catch the majority of the wave. But also one thing to keep in mind is Johanna is late, so fighting in general already doesn't seem too great.
I don't know if I don't think that's what I do here, but
okay, so you go to Watchtower. The top Watchtower, because everyone is like, that's the only Watchtower, right? And yeah, this is already overstaying. Keep in mind the wave has already collapsed, and you want to be there as soon as these waves group up. Okay. Keeping in mind what I just said, why is what you're doing really, really bad?
because I could be soaking top instead.
No.
Oh, okay.
You spear the Dahaka, which puts you out of position, which means now you're stuck here for the next 10 seconds. Spearing here is okay, just for rage generation, but you do it on the minions, and you spin around these minions so that their skill shots either hit the minion or you are relatively far away and can still dodge them.
Okay.
Just to clear these minions, right? And you see, top wave is almost is just about to clash. Bot wave is taking a little longer. It'll take another 2 seconds for this to clash. But you want to be spinning on the wave, not the heroes. Yes, the heroes heal you more, but the heroes damage you more too. And in fact, you get stunned by the Muradin, you get stunned by the Kael'thas, you get stunned by the Dahaka, and then you have to get bailed out. And at this point, you're so low that when you go into a wave, you can lose a lot of duels. But also, your team is already missing Soak. So, nice. So you go to bot wave. There isn't really a reason not to take the fast rotation. Right, you see everyone of our team. Except the Haka, but if the Haka meets you here, then, you know, it's kind of whatever. I don't even miss XP. Oh, this is bad. So I get why you want to slam the globe minion, because you're like, haha, I can get a globe, and globe heals me.
Yes.
But here's what you do. You Q in. You walk forward until you're roughly about here.
And then press E.
And then you press E.
Okay.
Because you're delaying your spin by roughly 2.5 seconds. At which point your spin would have already been over. All of these minions would have been at 40% health. And you would have had a much higher health pool. Around minions, you want to spin ASAP.
Okay.
Especially when you're already low on health. Now, I don't know what you want to do. I think you want to get the top wave.
I'm
with
pretty
the
sure that's where I'm going, I think.
But you're sacking another wave. So what is best to do is take this wave first, because it's the wave you're already at. Then your minions will jump into their towers. If they keep this AFK brawl up, they miss 2 waves. And you still catch a wave here, because the Haka won't be able to clear this wave instantly. His W just isn't strong enough yet. So it'll take him another like 5 to 6 seconds to clear this wave. So at the point that you've cleared this wave, he's cleared your wave. You go here, you collect like 6 pity globes, and you get another wave.
Okay.
The basic gist of what you want to do is, if you want to rotate to a wave where you're missing soak, make sure if a wave you're leaving isn't about to have soak missed.
Okay.
Because then you might as well grab the soak here, where you're rotating away from, before getting to the next wave.
Okay. Because like in this instance, it sounds like I'm basically just trading one missed wave for another.
Yeah, exactly. Some slight mechanical optimization here. So you Q, and you know when you Q, you always auto attack someone. That still went through, and you instantly E'd, right? But you started E'ing when you weren't in range of most of the minions yet. Which means that most of the minions actually survive. And you overdo it with going from side to side, right? So ideally, you just want to stand in the singular spot where you will grab the most minions. So what I do when E'ing is literally just hold right click so that you know you get on top of stuff, because E disables your collision. So you want to be standing right here. Which is where you go to, except then you overshoot a bit, and you go back. And then standing here is really good, because you're hitting all of the minions except this one. Right? But then you go down again, and now you're not hitting 2 minions.
And that's bad.
And then you spend even more time cleaning this up. At this point, it is worth it to W the top minion, which the splash will kill the bottom minion, auto attack the top minion, and you can already be going on your way. So at this point, you already, you missed half a wave here already, which they're not missing because Kael'thas came here. So this is the trade that I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
But you already want to be mounting up instead of, staying in this lane. Like this, because you could have just mounted up 5 seconds early.
Okay. So I guess don't go grab the pity globes then?
No, you can grab the pity globes, but you want to mount up ASAP instead of grabbing the pity globes and then mounting up, right?
Okay.
Because by delaying your mount up by 4 seconds, you've lost a whole second of mounted movement speed.
Mm.
So you're poking the Haka, but poking the Haka really doesn't do anything unless you force him to use his essence, which means that he's weak in the next team fight. But what team fight, right?
Fair, yeah.
There isn't going to be a team fight. So there isn't much of a point to hitting the Haka. Clearing the wave early so that you can rotate is much better. Also, don't be afraid to W minions, even without the W4. You W the minion that's already just about to die.
Yeah, I noticed that. Just why did I do that?
And I know why. It's because you want to splash on the rest of the wave. But the 48 damage splash isn't worth it. You just want to go over here. Because this minion is going to die to your minions anyway. Auto attack this one and W it. And then you have that minion cleared. Queuing for Rage is perfectly fine. Ooh, okay. There's a very easy fix for this. Because what you do is you cancel your mount up with a movement command, right?
Yeah, I didn't press shift hard enough.
Okay, so you are aware that you should just shift right click.
Yeah, that's what I do normally. Sometimes I press shift and I don't press the button all the way down.
But you don't press shift 0.1 second before the mount is complete. You don't shift right click then. You shift right click as soon as you've already pressed Z.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to do this at the start of the mounting animation. So that if you mess it up, you don't waste your entire second of mount channel.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is really... Oh no. Wait, what are you doing? Hello? Suchal?
I might have, I probably moved my camera without realizing, and then without realizing I hadn't been moving. Which is something I do, if you're watching my actual camera, I will sometimes, click on the mini-map, ping on the actual map without moving.
Okay, so your initial spin here is really good. You get onto the wave, though I would have liked to see you queue the backline minion, because the frontline minion was already gonna die.
Okay.
And then you use your 300 damage burst a little bit better, because this is 200 damage from the ability, plus always an auto attack. No matter what you do with Sonya, you get an auto attack after queuing. The spin on the wave is good. And then I want to see you auto attacking off cooldown to get rage, but you start a movement command instead. You always want to auto attack before you start your movement command, because you only want to be moving when your auto attack is on cooldown, right? So then you cancel the movement, you auto attack, a little late, but the slam doesn't make any sense. Right? It's slamming a minion that's already on 1 health. If you slam this top minion, this minion still dies to the splash. But honestly, there's no reason not to just keep your Fury for Whirlwind. And already getting into position for Whirlwind, because you want to be here to eat all the minions. But instead you're... okay, you just got your talent, but still it's a little slow. Whirlwind, if you're in position, is still a little bit better than Wing the wave, especially if you're not hitting the entire wave at once, right? Because you have to stick around to clean up the stragglers, because W is so hard to aim.
Okay.
So the Haka gets into bottom, Lucio, Drunker gets into bottom. Camp's totally fine, but keep in mind, alarm bells should be going off in your head that, hey, we're free people and this free wave, so it means a wave is going to be missed, and figure out which wave. Also, there's probably no reason to spin. It's less DPS on 2 targets than auto attack WA. And Anduin is going to keep you healed up either. So you're actually lowering your DPS in this case. I probably would have taken the safest rotation, but I guess you see Junkrat just went up, so it should be fine. So you want to get into position to hit the entire wave, and you want to have the main target be the siege minions, the camp, right?
How bad?
Because you want to clear the camp ASAP. So you probably either want to stand here, W on this one, or you want to stand where you are right now and W this camp. Because your W, the primary target still takes quite a bit more damage. You don't need to auto-attack the minions because they're going to die to your W anyway.
Yep.
So you want to focus your auto-attacks on the thing that has the most health. And you're moving around a little bit too much. Stutter stepping is a really good habit to get into, but not if it screws up your W splashes, because you've done 2 Ws and the backline minions haven't received a single hit of damage.
Okay.
And you're still not hitting all the backline minions with the splash, right? Keeping them alive for an unnecessary amount of time. And the W into W, there's not really a reason to do that. Like, I get why you want to get rid of the minus 20 armor, but at the point that you're next to your towers, there really is nothing that's going to punish you for having minus 20 armor. Not while you see Murden here. So at this point, I would W and auto attack W instead of running away. Just a small mechanical thing. And in this case again, you're not going to really do anything to the Haka, right? He kind of just exists in the lane, but hurting him does nothing. An entire wave has been missed here because you spend a lot of time at the camp and clearing up bottom, and mid is being missed. So you want to just focus on these minions ASAP, and either get your free warhead or get your XP. Either is okay in this case. But the worst thing you can do is focus on the Haka. And sparing the Haka is really, really bad. You get bailed out by your Anduin, but even in this case, you know Murden is going to E in. As soon as you see Murden, you know he's going to E in, and he's going to try to Q you, right? And you're walking in a straight line. Or a straight-ish line. So what you want to do instead here...
Yeah, you see me start the juke like really late.
Yeah. But there's a much better juke you can do as Sonya, specifically against heroes like Murden with line skill shots. Because...
Is that to press E and stand on him?
Press E and dance around him. You don't want to stand inside him, but you want to go a little bit to the right, and then a little bit to the left, a little bit up, a little bit left, and keep going towards your tower in a general direction. Though you didn't have the rage to E here, or the fury, but one auto attack would have given it to you. You do get Safo, but it's not good to be typing before you mount up. Right, this is good to type, especially for team morale, but you want to do it while you have commands queued. So you want to right click, well actually at this point, like here, you can already hold shift, right click Z, right click like here, right click like here, and then you press enter and you type thank you. Because your mount is like 2 seconds late because of your typing. Also, there is a lot of people bottom. This XP being missed is worse than losing 2 nukes even.
Okay.
And like I said, the Haka doesn't care. Like all of your damage to the Haka, and now you try to damage him again, it's all inconsequential.
My thought process with the going after the Haka here is that like his team is somewhat isolated from him, so we should try to do something with that because we have Li Ming here.
Yeah.
Because like his team has to is still walking over here. This guy's alone.
Yeah.
We should just kill him.
He's in Murden E range. Even if you hit the Q on him, nothing happens to him. Li Ming has her W off cooldown. You just saw her use it. Junkrat, you don't know if he doesn't have W, but even if you get onto the Haka and the Haka is threatened, if you walk just a little bit to the right, he just W's you away from him. So even if Li Ming did have her W and wasn't going to her tap right now because, you know, she's low mana, this is still a bad engage.
Okay.
Because the Haka is just so tanky and not a kill target at all. If you were to get onto the Junkrat, which you could reasonably assess is here, if you were to Q him, W, E through him, see where the mine lands, dodge the mine, go after him, or go onto the towers because you forced him to W out. That is the best you can do here if you really want to hit heroes. But I think hitting heroes in the first place is going to do nothing for you.
Well, how do you assess, like, how do you figure out when to just, like, not hit heroes in situations where your team is going to pressure you to hit heroes because everybody on Storm League is fucking cracked out for the objective, you know?
I mean, reading teammates is always a little hard, right? But you can reasonably assess that Li Ming is not going to die to a Muradin, a Dahaka, and a Junkrat. They're all reasonably low health. Li Ming is low mana herself, so she probably doesn't want to stay in. She has her 50 spell armor. Anduin is here to save her. So even if Anduin and Li Ming were to go, like, you know, full bananas ham here, they're not going to die. Because Li Ming and Anduin are both long range, not melee. And the only reason why Li Ming would go back in here is to poke, and because you went in. But you're missing XP in the wave that is right next to you. You're missing XP in mid lane, and you're missing XP in top lane, which is also right next to your Genji. Missing 3 lanes of XP at once, with 0 people being dead, 0 possibilities of kills, 0 possibility of push, and the only thing you would get back for it is possibly this nuke, and possibly this nuke. I mean, Genji has a possibility of a kill, but it's a Lucio, he's not going to die to Genji. This is really bad, missing all of the XP. Because when you're a level ahead, when you're 2 levels ahead, that's when this thing starts winning you the game, because you can just contest it, and you can just force it, right? And that is your eventual plan that you're working to, is getting the boss and winning with the boss. And the goals to get there are getting XP, getting map pressure through getting forts, and the last thing is getting kills and getting warheads. They're not really that important.
Oh shit. Sorry, I bought my computer. Anyway, yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. How do you like make the assessment of like picking priorities then? Like in real time. Like obviously we have the benefit of hindsight, but in the context of when I was in the driver's seat a couple days ago playing this game.
So it's as simple as how much soak am I missing and how early is it? The answer is we're missing all the soak. At least you're missing mid. You can read that purely off of minimap.
Yeah, no one's there.
You can assess from the minimap you're missing top because your heroes are so far down in the lane. Though this is harder to read. And you have your camera able to see that you're missing this XP.
Okay.
So this one and this one are more tricky. This one is really obvious. But missing this much XP early on just isn't worth it. Especially because you're the solo laner. You don't poke objectives. You can't stall objectives. When your team is stalling an objective, you know, like Li Ming is just constantly pressing Q on for the Haka, and like the Haka walks up and then Li Ming's like, haha, I blink back. Right? That merry-go-round, you don't do that. You're bad at that because you're melee. You either like take a fight or you don't take a fight. And taking a fight here doesn't do anything. I would say even if you were to win this, you were to kill the Haka, you were to kill Murden, maybe Junkrat gets out, or maybe Murden gets out and Junkrat dies. This would be a net negative, and winning 2 warheads. I think that would be a net negative compared to soaking this, and soaking this, and getting this warhead.
Okay.
Just because XP is so important.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets worse than that because now you die. Well, you should die. They could have killed you.
I should have died.
Anyway, you live. And I really would have liked to see you pick up this XP and heal off of this wave.
I don't want to get over. I don't want to go over there. I will die if I go over there.
I get that. If you don't run away as soon as you see one hero here or one hero here, this is death. That's true. If you don't have the discipline to just immediately press one ability for the movement speed and walk upwards, this is death. I agree.
Like, I'm much more... I know it's safer to go here, do this, go spin on that wave.
Wave is temporary. Warhead is forever. That means collect the temporary thing over the permanent thing.
Okay.
Basically, you're missing a lot of XP. And standing at the warhead for 6 seconds just makes you miss more XP. Getting this into tower, forcing someone to either come here, collect that XP, or lose warhead, is really good. Especially because your team is still, you know, brawling top, like Johanna's about to die, or well, whatever. But if you get this, you're level 6.5. You can push this tower. I would even consider not taking this warhead at all and just pushing here. Just taking this gate. Because that is honestly worth it. And warhead this early, the nuke, doesn't kill a fountain.
They kind of suck.
Exactly. So this nuke is kind of bad. Oh no 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 wave, double wave.
Okay.
Hello, double wave. XP.
I don't think it's what I'm going to go do.
XP soak.
I think I'm going to go help with top lane.
Ping 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 ping.
There I go. I'll have to go help top. Oh, nope, there I go. Oh, I'm not on camera though. Oh, wait, no. Oh, there I go.
This kill is less than half of the XP that mid wave would have given you.
I don't know the numbers. I'm going to take your word for it.
It's also, really bad to miss this XP. I mean, I hope Genji's gonna get it. No.
He doesn't.
No. No, what are you... Ah! What are you doing here?
I don't know
You're
what
like
I'm doing
standing
here.
around mounted. Wait, let's zoom in on you. Just take a look at what you're actually doing and providing to your team. So, you mount up, you walk, you
go to the bush,
you waddle,
I leave.
You waddle around, you waddle around, and you waddle around.
I finally decided to go do something.
And no, you're waddling around. No, you waddle. That was a solid like 15 seconds where you didn't do anything. Now this is good. Pinging this passive aggressively after you just missed 2 waves in mid is ironic.
Oh, I didn't say it was a good... Oh, no, I didn't say it was a good idea. I'm just pinging it. So I'm a little preoccupied.
You're a bit scared of the wave. Took you quite a long time to get there.
Yeah, I'm in the wonderful world of Here's the Storm. I'm more afraid of everybody else than they are of me, or than they should be of me.
Yeah. So there's honestly no reason to go help your Johanna. I don't think this kill is worth it even if you get it. And there was a very low chance of getting it in the first place. Yeah, you just straight up missed it. You could have gotten this wave and this wave. So like
which is what I ended up going to do, but could have done it sooner.
But you could have gotten an extra wave. Like, look at all this. Also, if you got here a little sooner, you could have been stopping the Killfoss from clearing this wave for free. Make him take half his health for clearing the wave. While still clearing this wave, you know, just with W's. Oh, no. You can't just W off cooldown. That's not how W works. You have to auto-attack twice in between. That's the rules.
Okay.
It's like a violation of, you know, traffic rules. I'm docking you 50 euros, so I'll give you my PayPal after this.
What's that in Yankee money?
$60 or something.
Oh, Jesus.
So, you W the minion. Actually, you're not even stutter stepping. You know what stutter stepping is, right?
Yeah, I'm more concerned with getting the fuck away from Killfoss.
What's he gonna do? Well, like, he stuns you and then he Qs you and you're like, oh no, I took like 30% of my health. Let me spin on the wave and get it all back.
That's a lot of hit points.
What, you literally heal to 100% if he does that, just with E. There is no threat to you here. But if you're like in melee range of something, you always want to auto attack in between your W's, because you're eating through your rage by not auto attacking twice in between every W, right? So if you auto attack W auto attack, especially if you start at high fury, you can keep it going for quite a decent amount of time, especially if you're tanking something. But if you're Wing and then, you know, walking around Wing, you're wasting a lot of fury. You could have been at like 70 fury instead of 50 here.
Okay.
I would at this point consider, hey, the boss is up. When can we start doing it? Probably where we can hit 10 before them and then we can force a boss. So I would look to trying to get 10 ASAP, and then just before you hit 10, ping the shit out of the boss. Hopefully your team responds.
Okay. That's not what I end up doing, and then I end up pushing tab and Q at the same time, I'm pretty sure. So that's why my spear's on cooldown.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, not Wing is fine here. So you finally end up pushing.
Nuclear launch.
Wait, no, hit tower. Q in W, auto attack W. No.
No, I just leave. I don't remember why I left, but I left.
You see enemy heroes. You see all the waves being taken. This would be the perfect time to push. Get a free tower.
Terribly resources, by the way. This is such a bad use of company.
What? No, using Rage here is fine.
No, using Wrath.
No, Wrath is fine.
No, I used Wrath to go kill Dahaka, and he just left.
Yeah, but there was a wave, so I mean, in my eyes,
fair.
you pressed Wrath because there was a wave, and now you're gonna push tower, right?
Oh, I'm gonna go get the camp.
Wrath, Q, get it to half, tower, hit. The kill.
I don't know where their team is.
You saw them like 5 seconds ago, and now you see 3 of them.
Now I see them.
No. So
Okay, I guess I don't go do that.
So you wasted like your Wrath, right? Because all it did was clear some tower. Clear some wave. You never hit tower with it. Then your thought process was, well, let's go siege camp. But what does siege camp do? Why do you pick up a siege camp?
To force interaction out of the opponent.
No. Ultimately, the reason you pick siege camp is to get closer to winning the game. Right?
I mean, that's what you do everything in the game. Like
No, because you're doing a lot of things that don't help you win the game right now. What does the siege camp do that lets you win the game? What is the win condition of Heroes of the Storm? When does the victory screen pop up?
Destroy the core.
Kill the core. Okay, what is the core? It's a structure.
Big building.
So there happen to be like these smaller buildings around the core, and you have to kill at least one of them, right? And there's some free, even smaller structures further away, and you have to kill one of those. So if you want to take the siege camp, you take it so that you can kill this. But why don't you just hit this, skip the middleman, and get a tower? Big brain economics, skip the middleman, but it takes time and money.
Because I see objective and then my monkey brain is just like, go to the objective.
Your Johanna is being the offlaner right now, which is not good.
Not ideal.
You're missing a wave here right now. So, I mean, I get where you go here because you're like, objective, but also there's no reason for you to be here. You don't have Wrath, so you're not strong in team fights. Kel'Thas can just stun you. Murden can just stun you. Lucio can just knockback you, and all of them will last the full time because you don't have Wrath. You spear in without Wrath into an enemy team, which is like, well, if you're planning to if it kills someone, if it makes someone like, you know, die, that's a good time to W into to queue in into multiple people. But at this point, you've queued in to waste a cooldown, and nothing happens.
Let me ask you this though, then. So how could I have had the foresight to not do that? What should I? How should I? Evaluating a game state.
Hit this tower.
But,
it went wrong when you left this tower.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. How do I know? How do I determine to go hit the tower instead of going to go top the lane?
Can you hit the tower for free?
What does that even mean?
Okay, let's go all the way back to when you left this thing, right? So, at this point in time, you have Wrath.
Yeah.
You have a low health Dahaka. And currently your thought process seems to be, well, Dahaka is low, so let me hit Dahaka. This is already the wrong thought process. Why would you hit Dahaka? What does killing Dahaka do?
Killing Dahaka means I can hit the towers without getting like stunned.
Why do you care about a stun? You have Wrath. Like, he hits the stun on you and it does nothing. Look. Oh no, anyway.
Fair enough.
So you can keep that up. You can just queue the tower, the top tower, auto attack it, W, auto attack, W. Dahaka comes close. You just walk away with your 10% movement speed. There is nothing in this lane that stops you from hitting the thing.
There's nothing in this lane, but what about like the rest of the game state?
Well, let's look at your minimap, just as you got here. Kel'Thas is top, Murden's mid.
Joanna's here for some reason.
Joanna was soaking because you weren't. So you still see Murden mid. Kel'Thas could be going somewhere, but you have vision of the sewage tunnel. You have vision of the sewage tunnel. He's not coming here. So at this point, okay, Junkrat's dead. Kel'Thas can't be bottom. Murden is mid, so there could be a Lucio here. Will Lucio get you killed?
Probably not with Wrath up.
Is certainly not. That's why this is free to push. There is nothing that will threaten you. There's nothing that will even damage you. Because you can just sit here, spin on free things, this wall, this tower, this gate, and just get all your health back anyway, even without E-build. And it keeps your Wrath up, which is also a really good thing. Because the longer you can prolong Wrath, the stronger Wrath is, because, you know, 40% more damage is a heck of a lot. Instead, the Dahaka gets declared away for free, and you go to the team fight. Now, keep in mind without at the start Wrath. Of this, without Wrath. Now, keep in mind what I said about the start of the game. Team fighting isn't a thing that should be happening on Warhead. There is nothing to team fight over. This Warhead simply isn't worth a team fight. Instead, Dahaka gets to be pushing in this lane, who has already killed your towers. And Doc gets to teleport in because he's a global. The Hawkeye teleporting in is way too early. He misses a full wave that he could have gotten by sticking around here for 2 seconds longer, by the way.
So some saving grace.
Yeah, your opponents suck.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, it's the goal for you to not suck, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is that you want to get closer to winning the game at all points of the game, right? No matter what is happening in the game, you always have to be thinking about it like, how do I get closer to winning the game? And it doesn't seem like you have any awareness of that right now, which is why you're like, well, how do I get to the point where, you know, I can make the decision to do A instead of B, because you don't know why is A better than B, right?
Yeah.
And it really is as simple as what gets me closer to winning the game. And it's the obvious answer that, well, kills get me closer to winning the game. But it turns out kills don't get you closer to winning the game. Pushing gets you closer to the end of the game. Because pushing gets you closer to the core. The closer to the core you are, the closer you are to winning the game. Kills means that there is no one to protect the structures, which is why kills can often lead to the end of the game, right? That's why you're like, well, we team wipe, we can just end because there's nothing to protect structures. But that doesn't change that structures are what win you the game, and you don't need kills to hit structures. Even right now, as soon as the Hawk dug in here, you can just be like, well, oh well, I could just go bottom, pushing that wave. If they're still faffing about here, you know, jerking over this warhead or something, well, you get this entire wall for free.
So basically, the thought process on Sonya is basically just think about like, how good is the objective really, and then figuring out like, how can I abuse the opportunity cost of them being at the objective, but me being at their buildings.
Yeah. So it's also, if I'm at the team fight, what can I actually do? Right? And as we just saw, the answer is nothing. You honestly provided nothing of value to this team fight. You queued Kel'Thas, he's at half health, but he also just has a Lucio that can heal him back to full at any point. He's not in any danger, and in fact, because you went in, Anduin got baited to go in, and now Anduin dies, ultimately because of you. Right? Okay. And that sounds harsh, but why was Anduin there?
Because why was Anduin there? Because I went in, and then Junkrat mine was thrown, and then he stepped on the Junkrat mine and got bumped in. If he didn't step up,
yeah, like why is Anduin stepping up? Because you're in.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. If he steps up to help me, he gets bumped in and dies. Why did he step up? I went in without any resources. And then I guess I also baited Genji Dragon.
Now, if this is your playstyle, right, that you want to be doing, like...
What, being useless?
No, being useful in the team fight, right? If you leap here, these people die. Like, a leap here is 3 people leap. He doesn't get to heal anyone. He doesn't get to high-five anyone. Li Ming gets to hit a fat orb on everyone and disintegrate everyone to death. Genji gets to go in with Dragon Blade with literally nothing stopping him. Leap here is fantastic. You're playing as if you have leap.
Yeah.
But you pick draft. So you have to reevaluate, what does my hero do? What wins me the game? And in this case, it's not hitting the Kel'Thas, getting in there. In this case, it's more direct. Hitting the buildings, getting closer to the core. Because if you kill these 3 people, what would happen? You will be able to get this nuke. You might be able to go boss. What happens when you go boss? Well, you get to push structures. It's the same end result, it's just more steps. It just happens that the steps of killing heroes happen to be more fun than the steps of hitting structures directly. So, that is... I hope that's given you a little more of a starting point to start thinking about, like, what do I do with my hero? And this is true for every hero, right? It's true for every hero. So for Malfield, you already said, like, well, I can join the team fight and then I can go back to soaking, and I only have to be in the team fight for a little bit. I mean, that's true for Malfield with either ult, right? You go in, you Tormented Souls, you W everyone, you get your second W, you do a ton of damage, and then, like, your W's over and, like, well, what do I provide to my team? Maybe another W, and then I, like, have to get out.
Yeah, and then you just leave.
Or with Last Rites, it's like, well, I go in, I Last Rite someone, I mount up, and I 50% movement speed back to lane. Right?
And then, like, the thing with, like, Malthael's, like, I can't hit building.
Yeah, but you can hit structures, which lets your minions hit buildings. And minions, turns out, completely uncontested, pretty good at hitting structures too.
Well, they're way better at hitting buildings than Malthael is.
I mean,
I hate to say it,
everyone is. But
I don't know, man. Abathur, he goes up there and he gives him the punch, you know.
but it really does seem like you've gained an aversion to just hitting buildings.
Yeah, I'm afraid to hit buildings because I feel like I feel like I need to be doing something like that isn't just walk it down forehead.
Yeah, but it turns out the game boils down to walk it down forehead. And then, you know, Genji wastes its ult when everyone dies, and it's like, it's a complete disaster. But it's ultimately disaster caused by you. Typing here is not ideal because you weren't moving. Again, try to type when you're moving.
I'm afraid to type when I'm moving because I might die.
Well, then you press escape. Sonya, help mid. What?
Yeah, I'm being asked to come back.
No. At this point, you press tab, and there's a mute button next to Anduin.
Yeah.
Anduin is not saying anything of value. And if you take Anduin's advice, you're doing bad. If you argue with Anduin, you're wasting your time. You're spending mental resources on Anduin instead of, hey, wait, we're also missing top lane, so after this wave, I can go over there. Instead, you're thinking about, well, Anduin, hey, mid is bad, right?
Yeah,
you're thinking about completely the wrong things now because you engaged Anduin. Do you see what I mean with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so engaging with Anduin about, you know, what was actually the best play, etc. It's actively distracting you from playing the game.
Okay.
And from thinking about what's the next step in the game. What do I do now? When I clear bot, what do I do? You should already be thinking about this because hitting minions doesn't take much mental effort, right? You can just be auto attack W and, like, your eye should be on the minimap.
Okay.
Because there's nothing to look at here. You see the Hawk on the minimap. You see their entire team on the minimap. You see Junkrat just used Rocket Ride, which is why you see him at his core. There is nothing to be thinking about here, so you want to think about the next step. And currently the thing you're thinking about is, how do I make Anduin see that the mid fight is bad? But Anduin isn't important. Killing this thing is. So you meet a wild Haka. You try to catch him in your Pokeball. But
I fail the body block and then he just gets away. And I miss all the soaked up.
It doesn't even matter if you body block him here. Because he just walks the opposite direction. Even if you hit the even if you get the body block. He eats through you if you get the body block.
Well,
he has a W in 2 seconds to ignore the body block altogether. Keep in mind what you're giving up. If you add, let's see, 10 seconds back. If you at this point in the game were thinking about, well, what do I do next, right? You would see that you have a wave top and another wave top that you're about to miss because you see your minions here. to me, it's very obvious that going top is a good move. I'm not sure if it's obvious to you.
It probably was not at the time.
Yeah.
It's obvious now with the benefit of hindsight and the benefit of somebody telling me this. But it's not obvious
like
to me
I said,
at the time because I'm not looking at the minimap. I'm looking at the center of my screen.
Yeah. So exactly, like, this is bad, and this really doesn't take effort.
Mm-hmm. It should be like,
this...
I don't know how familiar you are with fighting games, but it should be like, I should know how my movement is and what I'm doing without ever having to actually look at me. I should be looking at everything else.
Yeah. So part of what I recommend people to do is every time you mount up, look at your minimap. Because if you're mounting up, that means nothing's going on around you, right? Because if you were mounting up with people around you, you're being dumb. Because, you know, they just interrupt your mount, right? Yeah. So every time you mount up, you have a quiet moment in your game. Basically every time. So think about, look at your minimap when you mount up and reassess, where do I go? Because every time you mount up, it's to go someplace. And you might as well take the extra half second to think about, where should I go? And in this case, it's really obvious to me that mid is nothing is happening and top is being unsoaked. And hey, there's a shortcut to top. So if you have that in mind and you are going to the sewage tunnel and you will meet the Haka, you could still fight the Haka again over the sewage tunnel. And then as soon as this happens, you go to the sewage tunnel. If the Haka approaches you, he just uses his essence, he just uses burrow, you are just about to get spear back, you then spear on the Haka, there are no bushes around for miles, that's when you can kill the Haka.
Okay.
If he interrupts you going to the sewage tunnel, when he doesn't have E, when he doesn't have essence, and when you have spear and wrath up. So channeling the sewage tunnel is the absolute best thing you can do. You're going to get a wave. You're going to be able to stop Junkrat from getting the wave for free. You get the new wave that just spawned. And if the Haka tries to interrupt you, you get a free kill on the Haka. So this is really, really, really good.
Okay.
Keep in mind what forcing people to come towards you means at any point, right? Because...
Like, it means, like, you're, like... Because what it sounds like is like I can go over to the sewage tunnel and kind of force him to interact with me when he's on the back foot, essentially, because then he doesn't have essence, have burrow. His W's still on cooldown, Q's on cooldown. So I'm forced. I can either get ahead on macro without, and he doesn't interact, or I force the interaction and I just kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
So going to the sewage tunnel is good for two reasons. You can kill the Haka, or you force the Haka to just walk away, you know, and you get the top soak.
Said we do need.
But the play you make is, maybe I get the Haka, and he gets away because bushes exist.
I know all these new maps that keep putting out don't have any bushes on them. I know, it's crazy. And so I don't get anything done here, other than
I mean, you get a wave, but keep in mind what you gave up. You're giving up this. And Junkrat doesn't have structure damage, but he got more structure damage in his lane than you did. But even in this play, right? Again, you're straight up typing too much. But even in this case, you already have the Hawk on the back foot. You know he uses Essence. You heard the Essence sound if you were paying attention.
Yeah, no, I heard it. And you can also do the health bar spike up.
So...
with a little background.
So, you know Kael'thas is mid. You know Junkrat was just top. He didn't take the sewage tunnel. Hitting structure for free again. It's the exact same situation you just had. Do you see that?
No, now when you put it like that, it's super obvious. So I go do the camp.
And it's this that you really need to start paying attention to and thinking about. Again, when you mount up, right, assess the situation. There are multiple things you could have noticed at that point. It's, well, top lane is going unsoaked. I could go there. You could assess, well, hey, this camp is going not being taken. You could go, this camp is not being taken. Or you could go, there's literally nothing to defend this because I just chased the Haka and he had to run like a little bitch. Again, mounting up is the time to think about that. If you're having difficulty fitting that into your schedule, right? And again, don't roll wind on this camp. It's less DPS. Oi.
I probably bumped the key again, pressing tab.
And all of this typing isn't going to convince anyone. Nobody is going to be convinced by like 3 lines of text if they are fundamentally disagreeing with you. So
I don't think he'd be I don't think he's convinced by an essay either, in retrospect.
Mm-hmm. So you're double wasting your time, right? You're wasting your time trying to convince Anduin, and you're wasting your time not thinking about the game. Because top lane has got unsoaked for like, what, 3 waves in a row now?
Minute and a half. At least a minute and a half, anyway.
You took this fight a little bit wrong. You popped Raph a little bit too early, and you didn't take the angle correctly. So, you pop Raph, which dismounts you.
Okay. That's bad.
There's no reason to dismount yourself this early. Also, when you look at this, it's pretty obvious that the Hawkeye is your kill target, right? You want to spear on your kill target. So you want to go here to get an angle on the Hawkeye, or to force the Hawkeye back into, behind his tower, and then you can go hit his team for free, or you can hit the tower for free while pressuring the Hawkeye because of a W. Splash. So going down here is doubly good. But instead you dismount yourself, and you spear the Muradin. Well, you don't even spear at all. You spear a backline minion.
I spear a minion. That's so bad.
So, yeah. As Sonya, when you are pushing into heroes, it's really good to be on the towers, because keep in mind, you keep splashing onto the towers, right, with your W. But the way you've played this game so far, Shattered Ground has done basically nothing for you so far. This hasn't been a talent so far. Battle Rage has honestly baited you into doing camps that you shouldn't have been doing in the first place, because you were missing Soak for all those times. Furious Blow has been fine, right? It's helped you manage your mana, etc. And you haven't played around Wrath. You haven't been hitting structures. You haven't been forcing things. That's what Wrath lets you do. So your talents have not matched your playstyle. And there are, again, like I said earlier, there are 2 ways to fix that. Change your playstyle, or change your talents. Also, Wrath runs out before you get to this camp, which is...
Yeah, very sad.
I mean, you could have known that. If you play Sonya a fuck ton, you start realizing how far you can go with a certain amount of Wrath, right? So when the bar is half full, you have 7.5 seconds left, which means that you can go, about from here to like here before Wrath runs out. Anyway, nothing happening here. Nothing happening here. So why are we fighting top?
I don't know. We were looking at the sewage tunnel and talking about Wrath distance, and I forgot the context of this fight.
Let's go back. Because this fight makes no sense to me. Because you take this. Okay, you get baited to not taking the sewage tunnel because your team is collapsing onto the Haka. But the Haka had 4 people hitting him all this time. Isn't even dead. Massive waste of your team's time. And your Anduin dies for it.
And here I'm hitting Murden and not Junkrat. If I hit Junkrat, he dies. And then I die. Right about.
But again, there's no reason to take this fight. I think letting your team... Yeah, if you left, went here, slap this. Or even if you just went mid, right? This is still a giga huge wave. As Sonya, you can't think of the game as the stuff in front of you. Sonya doesn't play that game very well. Not with Wrath, at the very least. Sonya has to play the minimap. I mean, so does Malthael, right? So I assume, like, as Malthael, you're often looking at where are the ways I can hit, right?
Doesn't, like, every macro support play like that, though?
Not really. Not everyone. Someone like Blaze can be much more teamfight oriented.
Fair.
But you have to think about when can I hit structures? Because
should be now.
If you're not hitting structures ever, Wrath doesn't do anything. Especially if you're not if your win condition isn't spinning on the enemy team and they can't do anything about it. That's the only time you can play this way with Wrath. I think I've said basically everything. I'm going to go over the rest of the replay a little faster. Tell me if you have any questions.
Okay.
Because else I'm just going to be repeating the same points. Because I really think these are the pain points that you need to be working on. Right? So, like, you popped Wrath a little bit too early here again.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm like, oh, I pop Wrath and then I immediately proceed to miss my spear.
Yeah.
God, I'm so bad at this.
But you get onto the enemy heroes. But instead of Wing auto attack, keeping up with them because with your 20% movement speed, you start spinning at full health. There's no point to that, except for them to interrupt you because they haven't used anything, right? You're engaging as Sonya, and now you didn't have the Wrath, the Whirlwind, after they already used all of their interrupts, and they already used all of their cooldowns, right? That's when you want to E. You want to spin when they have used most of their stuff, and when you will heal from it. So you always want to delay your spin to like 2-3 seconds into the fight proper. Not start your fight with it. Because especially at the start of the fight, getting a single target down with W is just going to be so much stronger. And,
so I can't see shit.
Yeah. What I would be doing, though, is I would be spinning here. Because I know the enemy team is here. I still have Wrath. This is going to give you the best chances of survival. Though, just running back is also okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, I'm going to run and W off. Maybe get some splash damage.
Wait, were you...
No, I didn't hit anybody with the splash damage. God damn it, I tried. And so here, I'm not really sure, like, should I have been helping with that up there at 1 o'clock? Or should I have been just hitting the boss like I was?
Yeah. So, you're honestly spending a lot of time moving around. Like, look at your hero, right? And just look at how much you're moving around. Because I see a really big issue here. And it might be, reflecting, not knowing what to do in this case.
Oh, it probably is. That's like, if you watch me play any other hero, when I stop doing things and start just walking in circles or walking like in straight lines for long periods of time, that's because I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do myself.
Yeah. So
I'm like that kid just kind of holds his hands out and just kind of like stares off in space.
Yeah. So that's doubly bad with Wrath. Because while you're doing that, you're not gaining Fury, and your Wrath runs out because of it. Because of your walking.
So I'm not hitting.
Yeah. So your auto attack, Wing, walking around, auto attack W, walk around, while you want to be auto attack, W. Auto attack, W. And you walk around in between those, right? You want to walk around in between those. You don't want to auto attack W, walk around for a second. Okay, we got to talk about these spears sometimes. This is like the third spear of this game, where it's like, I'm not even sure what you're hitting, or what you were trying to hit. Is your tab key like that?
That looks more like I literally just missed because I stood too far back and I aimed far to the right.
Aye.
So basically, I don't know, aim better, forehead.
Yeah. But I do want to say, yeah, you're really far behind at this point. Like you said at the start, right? We were really far behind. But the really, really simple part about why are you behind, right? And it boils down to you having never hit this. This would not have been free if you had pressure here. This tower would not have died to minion pressure if you had catapults knocking down any minion waves collecting here. Right? This would have been dead if you spent a little bit more time pushing here when you had the chance to. If you have these two forts, the game suddenly looks really even. Just on a fort level perspective, right? Because it's a really easy way to see like how far away are we from winning. And the fact is, if you have no forts, even if you team wipe at level 20, it is excruciatingly hard to win the game off of a team wipe. So you're really far away from winning the game at that point, right? Now, this fort is basically dead, but you need to like win a team fight like exactly right here to be able to push down this and this without them respawning. But that is how they get the boss, and that is how you are so far behind right now. It's not because the team fights are being played poorly. It's not because you're missing your spear sometimes. It is...
Those aren't helping.
Those aren't helping, but they're not the cause, right? We're interested in like actionable things that will help you win the game. This is really good, dodging the thing. Then chasing with a Hawk instead of just hitting the wave is not great, though. Like the Hawk, he's like a girl that friend zones you for like 5 years and like keeps stringing you around. You keep chasing him. You keep chasing her, right? Because you're like, oh, maybe she's into me. Maybe she's into me. But no, the Hawk is not into you, and you're not gonna kill him today.
He's just going to get in his race car and go away.
Yeah, get into your minion car and kill minions.
All right, John is here. Now oh fuck, the whole team.
Yeah, you saw this entire team on the minimap. I did, at least.
I didn't.
I can't believe you killed that
I was
Haka.
surprised when I come around this corner.
That the Haka deserved to live. Okay, this... Oh my god. Okay, so... it turns out you live in a magical place called... Let me double check your
Silver
role.
One.
Magical place called Gold. Silver One is basically gold, right? You live in a magical place called Gold where this happens. There was no reason for them to be like, let's get team wiped. But you get the team wipe. And I'm gonna be mean again.
That's fine.
And I'm gonna zoom in on you and look at what you're doing.
Nothing.
Walking around, 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 walking around. You found something.
Yeah. I finally make my decision to go bot and hit them.
Like 3 centimeters from where we started. So...
No, it's just funny because you're right. But it's like, oh, shit. Didn't even go that far.
So honestly, I don't hate you pushing this. I don't hate you doing this. I hate it being 10 seconds late, and I hate it not having a goal in mind. What is your goal? You got a team wipe. What do you do with the team wipe? Hitting minions is not a goal. It's a tool. It is what gets you somewhere. Why are you hitting these minions? What will hitting these minions let you do? Why wouldn't you do something else on the map? So, look at the minimap right now and tell me, how do you capitalize on your team kill? What do you do? What is the best course of action? And why haven't you told me to look at the boss timer yet?
Because the boss isn't up for another 4 minutes, and
the boss isn't up for another 3 minutes. This is why you always check it.
Close enough.
Keep in mind, you can always just look over. You can hover your mouse over if it counts. Yeah.
But
you don't have to look.
In my mind, I'm thinking the boss isn't up for a little while. Go hit building.
Yeah. That's usually one of the first things I check when I get a team wipe, is look at the boss timer when it is up. Which in this case, it's 3 minutes, it's nowhere close, right? So boss is out. There are other things you could be doing. Name some things on the minimap that you see.
I see buildings that aren't destroyed.
Okay, you can see where, you know where I'm heading with this.
So basically, ignore these minions, go soak a shit ton of building damage, go do a bunch of building damage.
Mm-hmm. So, sorry, I haven't eaten.
You're good.
I'm actually really hungry. So
you're good. So basically, run past these minions, go all the way to the fort and bot, and just start hitting.
I don't hate hitting these minions, and there is a reason. This camp will help you push really hard.
Yeah,
but
I want to escort them.
No, you don't want to escort them. You want to clear the path for them ASAP.
Okay.
Where is their next wave? There is a trick to knowing that.
It is, if we assume that Warhead Junction is now a clock, the bot wave is at about 4 o'clock ish.
Yeah. You can just say in between their bottom
that works too.
Towers.
It's there. It's right about where I'm standing, but on the other side.
Yeah. So
that's where my wave is.
If you look at this minion, what will stop your minion wave from getting here? Those are the things you're interested in. So let's actually go back to where you won the team fight. This is the point where you have nothing to contribute to the team fight. Nothing. This person's already dead. You will never get this Kael'thas. Ever. If you get him, it's going to be your Genji, or it's going to be your Johanna. Never going to be you. Ever. So at this point, you can already mount up and do something.
I only do one of those, the mount up part.
No, you don't mount up. Now you mount up. So.
I literally pressed Z during the W animation.
So. This is going to be a double minion wave on your end. So you're going to have 6 ranged minions pushing with you. If you go down here immediately, you clear these 4 minions. You don't mount up, you keep going, you will encounter the enemy wave right around here with a catapult. You want to soften the wave up as fast as possible in that time span. So you W the wave, you W this 2 times to clear it up while auto-attacking. You go here, you W the wave 2 times, you go through the wave, auto-attack the catapult, get past the catapult, W it 1 time to get the killing blow, W the rest of the wave, and your wave has a completely free path to their structures. You mount up, you go to their structures. Did you follow that?
I followed the gist of it. You lost me at the mechanical part. So you W the www.com.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of those things I'd have to do myself. So instead, I dick around a while, and then I eventually get around to...
Yeah, you don't even W the wave. You're typing.
Yeah, I don't expect people in my elo to know what to do after a team wipe, other than get camps. Don't get camps, get buildings.
Except you're able to get a fort all by yourself, but you're now not able to because you're wasting your time telling your team to do something, which could be done by Alt, left click, done.
You're right. They sometimes don't follow that. I'm trying to cover
Neither will they follow this.
Fair.
And
you know what? That's a good point. If they're not going to follow pings, they won't follow type.
Mm-hmm. So for all the shit I'm giving you, you're following the basic outline of the plan just 20 seconds late. You could have been here 20 seconds earlier, easily.
How did you get here 20 seconds earlier? Other than, like, the less walking around. Like, that's a very obvious solution to the problem, but, like, what about the
this
other
was 20 seconds earlier. This is when I say you could have been here.
How? My question.
This is another 10 seconds earlier.
Still walking around.
This is another 10 seconds earlier. How do we get here in 18 seconds?
Well, you could just mount up and walk there straight.
So, mount up. Walk here. W this minion twice. Don't kill the minions yourself. Walk past. Meet the next wave. W the melee minion. Hit the entire wave at once. Spin through the wave. Your minions have cleaned up this. This minion wave was entirely destroyed by you. Walk here. Congratulations, you're here. Did you follow?
Yes.
That's how you get there in 15 seconds.
Okay.
This is how you don't get there in 15 seconds.
Benny Hill song, go.
But also keep in mind how much time you're wasting on this wave just by not Wing it in time. Because you're typing and because you're not positioning for more Ws. So, you auto attack, walk, spear. Your W hasn't been on cooldown once. W, finally.
Oh, there we go. Hey,
auto attack. But auto attack on the minion, that is going to die to your W splash anyway. This auto attack is wasted. You see that?
No.
Why not? Why do you not see that?
I mean, I don't know how I clear the wave after this. Like, I don't. In my head, I don't look at it as a wasted auto because I can just back up and then get the second auto on the melee minion behind me and then just W through the Marines and the Ghost, and then it dies to the splash, but I don't know if it dies to the splash without that auto. I don't know the number.
So the simple way to know that, in this case, is look what the first W does, which takes 60% of it.
Okay.
If a W takes 60% of it,
probably don't need to auto again. Or probably need to just W again.
So if one equals 0.6, how much is 2? 1.2.
Yeah.
If you had basic algebra. So all this time, you do get another W off, but the W isn't even hitting all the minions, right? And this is another time waster. Your goal is to clear the wave as fast as possible. And that's honestly your goal at any point in the game, right? Unless you are freezing a wave, when you are at a wave, you want to clear it as fast as possible. And you want to always be thinking about how do I optimize clearing this wave? How do I clear it as fast as possible? And in this case, the wave is splitting because of the way you're standing, you're taking minion aggro, you're taking catapult aggro, you're splitting the wave in a way that you cannot hit the W on all the minions. You're wasting your own time.
And then that W didn't even angle to hit the catapult, so I have to hit it again.
And then
here I take the minion aggro and mess it up again.
Here you spear and then R, not empowering your spear. And here again, all of your W's are hitting 2 things when they can be hitting 7. This one hit
I took the minion aggro and messed it up. I'm here to Hakaburo in.
Now you literally don't care. Just hit the towers. No, keep hitting the towers. Hit tower. No, no. Yes, yes. No.
Yes, yes.
Yes. But you could have easily had this this fort, right? I think you see that.
No.
I hope you see that.
I am too afraid to go under that fort.
No, you could have had this fort if you were here 20 seconds early.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. When you qualify it with that, 100%. But like in this scenario, I'm not brave enough to go in there.
I think you could have had this fort with all of the time you've wasted still. For sure, 100%, no doubt in my mind.
Minus 20 armor is a lot.
And? I don't mean hit the fort with 0 minions around you, by the way. I mean dance around the fort.
Stopped, so
I mean dance around the fort while the Haka is Benny Hill theming you around the fort, letting your minions survive because he doesn't W the minions. Because the Haka is just as bad at you. Huh?
Like the way the minions position, they don't get there fast enough.
Yeah, they do.
They literally stop at where the wall was.
You killed the wall.
They was where the wall was.
Yeah. You killed the wall, and you killed the minions. Easy. Anyway, this camp is okay. Take the wave. Again, you can work on your whirlwind positioning. To hit, you know, all of the minions, and especially all of the ranged minions you want to hit. Mid isn't really safe to soak. You seem to realize that, except now you don't.
I go ahead and do it anyway.
No, you pretend to do it.
I give up.
No, you pretend to do it. Your team comes and you get moral support, and then you're like, no, you know, in a 1v5 I was brave, but in this 5v5 I don't dare to hit 3 minions in a 5v5. Anyway, boss is up in 20 seconds. I would already be pinging that boss, by the way. So this is really good. This is a really good pickup. What is your next step? That is what you got to think about when you take that random pickup on the map. Getting this is really good, but what do you do with it? And like I just said, boss is up in 10 seconds. I hope you go boss. But you should already be pinging attack on this as soon as you realize this boss was going to be up. Because you're wasting your time. Nice. I'm very happy to see this. I don't like to see you getting hit by the boss because you're too busy pinging. I don't... What the... No! No, what? Get in there! You pussy! What? You have the boss. What does the boss do? It lets you W the boss so that you can slam their entire team at once. You can channel the nuke from here. No problems. You can spin on their entire team. You can keep Raph up by spearing the boss. Spear the boss. Spear the boss. Yes.
We do. You paused it when
Still
I did.
Raph. You go upwards, just a little bit here. You start slamming downwards as soon as you see the Muradin. But for some reason, you're like, well, I'm only half health. I'm only gonna heal like 400 health every second that I'm Eing, and the Muradin is gonna deal like 100 damage to me. I'm gonna run. Like, they're not gonna do anything to you. You have 60 armor. You're at like...
I literally just pushed ignore pain as positive.
You removed your own wrath for no reason. Like, you let your ult run out. By getting out, you let your ult run out. And then you go in after your ult ran out. You're in the exact same spot that you would have been by just staying in there. Except now you emotionally feel better about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you don't have wrath.
And I die.
Because you weren't able to heal up with, your wrath. Or, use your 60 armor while actually getting hit. That boss fight! Hit the boss!
No, I backed up because like I can literally just die.
Yes, which you did.
No,
by engaging after your wrath and your ignore pain ran out.
No, I initially backed up because I know I can die there, even with wrath. Like Muradin literally just presses Q, and then Kel'Thas presses E and presses Q, and then Q, and then W, and then I'm dead.
The boss will die. Wait,
yes.
It has like what? How much health? It won't show me. The boss is like 2 Ws away from dying. Kel'Thas is super far away from you. You have ignore pain. You have already selected it. If you press ignore pain, you're at full health. That's how much armor that is. If you were at full health without ignore pain, would you be standing on this boss?
Probably.
Yes. The answer is yes. Yes,
No,
you want to be standing on the boss. When you have ignore pain and when you have wrath, these are the best times for you to be contesting a point, having people be forced to let you heal off of them. Going in afterwards, after you channel your nuke, which honestly your nuke doesn't even matter that much. It's like, yeah, Muradin took 30% of his health. Oh no. The Hawkeye didn't do anything this fight anyway. All of the damage the Lucio took was done by the frickin' Genji. Going out, letting all of your important cooldowns go to waste, and then going in is really bad. Right?
Yeah.
So if you have your cooldowns, even though you're at 2,000 health, you are at like 30% health. When you pop ignore pain, you are effectively at 5,000 health, full health, right? And your whirlwind is healing for, for those 4 seconds. It's healing for the same amount it would normally, except all of that health counts for so much more, right? So your whirlwind is healing you for like 1,000 per second for hitting 2 people.
Okay.
So you're in no danger whatsoever there. As long as you stand your ground and use your wrath and your ignore pain instead of pussying out and then using them and then going in, right?
So like, other than the obvious, having your cooldowns 5 head, sort of thing, like how do you approach a situation like that without like?
So like the reality is you died anyway, right? And
I probably don't if I do what you say.
No, I would still expect to die doing that. what does it matter that you would die? The thing is, you can die doing nothing, or you can die killing them. The choice, to me, seems pretty obvious. Right? You can stand right here, W Vermurden, while standing safely behind the boss and the Johanna, so his Stormbolt can't pierce them, can't hit you, right? So he would have to jump onto you, at which point he's used his jump, so he's easy for your team to hit. Or you could stand right here and channel the Warhead from there, while taking a little bit of chip damage from the boss, which keeps your Wrath up again. Because honestly, this nuke, it looks very pretty, but it doesn't hit Lucio and it doesn't hit Kel'Thas.
But it does do 4,000 damage. Not very helpful.
4,000?
Yeah, it does 1,600 to Haka and 2,400 to Muradin. Yes, the Haka does get hit by the nuke.
Yeah. Very pretty numbers, but I don't think they matter.
Like, yeah, it does a lot of damage, but is it really helpful damage?
Exactly. It doesn't matter that the Haka took damage. The Haka has what?
He's running down our Li Ming right now.
The Haka has 50 essence. If he wanted to, he could heal this all up in an instant. Muradin still has 4.5k health. He's not going to be pushed off the point by this. The two people that can threaten you while Junkrat is dead is Kel'Thas, and you've run out of people. Guy. So the only person that you care about is Kel'Thas, and contesting the point. Because, you know, if they get the boss but you get their team, then you're still not going to be able to end very easily. But you've done down to the people that matter least.
Yeah, it makes sense. However, fortunately for me, Kel'Thas decides to take the worst route possible, vacuum. Fortunately
for you, Genji had free access to your backline because both their front lines were like, well, if we don't go in on the point really, really hard, then how will we ever contest the point, right? And then the Hawk completely forgot he had a backline.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah. I recorded this, so I'll be putting that on YouTube later for you. So you can go over everything again. But I hope that everything was well, at least a little bit helpful to you.
So it sounds like the gist of it is a lot like, don't look at the middle of the map, or middle of the screen, you're macroing, mini-map.
Mm-hmm.
Drawing a blank, hold on. Don't miss Q.
Missing Q doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
If you have Wrath and ignore pain, actually fight.
Just go hit someone.
If you're in the wave, and you want to be clearing the wave, try to optimize your wave clear. Right? So if you have Shattered Ground, you don't want to be doing this, which is what you were doing.
Like running in, yeah. You want to hit the melee minion so that it splashes through as many of the other guys.
So this is terrible, right?
Yeah.
It's taking me so long to clear this wave because I'm not using the splash at all, and I'm not using Whirlwind because I'm like, well, haha, Shattered Ground clears. But that's only true if you do this.
Yeah, you hit the front guys so that it hits the back guys.
And then I still have spare to hit an enemy hero in the lane if I want to. Or, if there's no enemy hero, I'll just do this. And so I keep W from slightly different angles, so that I keep vision behind the tower, and I can see where the enemy is if they're there. And then when I win them out, I can just be like, oh, well, I did I did like 70% of that structure.
Pretty sick. And it also looks like you want to vary up, like, maybe not vary it up, but like be willing to, once you get a lot of damage on the melee minions, step up a little bit so that you can more efficiently clear the backline minions, so that when you clear the backline minions, the frontline minions are also dead at the same time, essentially.
Because your wave is hitting their wave. And also, I never want to tank the wave, right? So this is also what you see me doing, is when I step up to the wave, I auto-attack W and I back off. It's not auto-attack there. Kind of bad. And then I can already go in, hit tank one tower shot, it doesn't matter. And just get the keep. Well, keeping well on the minimap, right? So I honestly recommend you to just go into try mode and just practice hitting the wave with your W. Right, just keep resetting the wave and try to do it as efficiently as I am. Which I'm not doing it 100% optimally here, by the way. But that's, what have I called on tests again? As an exercise to the reader? Yes. And it's a bit of a tangent. It's the same thing with with this thing. You wanna always focus this thing.
You hit the mage first, kill the mage first, and then you can do everything else.
But unfortunately, on the tri-mode map, the camp is actually like there's no space behind her. On every single map in the game, there's space behind her. So you can be hitting the mage minion, and the mage minion can body block the melee minions while you're doing that. And you auto attack plus W the entire thing at once, right? That is what you ideally want. As well as when you're doing that specific camp.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
You probably know, but don't do this. You can kite the melee minions around so that only 2 melee minions are ever hitting you.
Yeah, this is something. Yeah, you can, because you can. The knights don't. Fortunately, when they're stuck to each other. Oh, okay. That I didn't know you could get them stuck like that, but that's because I'm probably too busy hitting the mage minion.
Yeah. This is not what you actually can do. What you're doing normally, but it's because the mage minion got him stuck. But because I can't hit the mage minion.
But usually, when you're in the back like that, the 2 melee knights next to you, the 2 melee minions directly next to the mage will block the 3rd knight. So
yeah. And then there is. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna very quickly go into this. This is a competitive game in the X Cup qualifiers that I played quite recently. I'm just gonna go over it real quick.
Sure.
But if you notice, their team has no CC.
Their team now.
They have no CC. So guess what I did this game.
You just kind of spin.
As kind of spin.
We do a little spinning.
So actually there's multiple things I can go over in the early game, right? So you notice I don't do the mid fight. I can already be getting their wave at the towers.
And building the rage.
Getting it low, building the rage. Then I get into position to spin on the entire wave. I get the wave down really quickly, right? This wave has been here for like 10 seconds. And then I notice D.Va comes in at super low. And why am I pressuring D.Va instead of hitting towers? Because D.Va clears up the wave really quickly if she's not pressured. With a splash auto attacks. That's why I have to hit the D.Va. But then she goes into like baby D.Va and then she like hits me. But at least I got the tower, the gate down quite a bit, right? But I'm never actually going to be able to get the D.Va. But I am just going to keep hitting the wave, because D.Va doesn't have wave clear at this point. Although I don't want her hitting my wave for absolute free, so I want to like zone her out of auto attacking so she can't enter mech for a longer time. Except I suck at dodging, so then I never dodge her or.
So my question is, why doesn't she just like after she knows spear's on cooldown, why doesn't she just stand still and shoot you?
Because she's not threatened.
What? No. The question is, why didn't she just stand still in pilot form after your spear was
because I'm
down
gonna W a minion and walk at her with 10% movement speed.
Oh, fair enough.
So you see, Hogger is doing the camp, so I can go mid wave, right? This is communicated in game, but it's also something I will be doing in Storm League, right? Because we see the 3-man top pushing top, so Lucio is either alone here or maybe D.Va's coming up. No, D.Va's bot. So I can just hit the wave. But you'll notice I'm not hitting Lucio. There is no point to hitting Lucio. I will never be able to kill Lucio. But he also can't kill my wave. And I go spin build, so... we go in a little bit. I didn't actually get that much structure push done this game. For multiple reasons. But you notice that I'm like full healing off of every single wave instead of, just spamming the thing. I cancel this because it wasn't safe. But I am full spin build in this case. D.Va has to use self-destruct here, which is really good for me. I die here because I suck.
Hey, relatable. Suck for different reasons, but...
Anyway,
right, so now we're going in. Now we're actually fighting.
But I don't have spare, so it really sucks. But I get to spin through our entire team, and there's literally nothing they can do about it. So they sank, so I back off. And then I get to go back in. The Charisma ult makes me have to back off, but then I can just go back in. And you'll see that I target switch to Lucio, sadly did get out, but that means he can no longer heal anyone. And I go to the Tyrael...
Tyrael teleport.
To his sword.
Yeah, that thing.
And I kind of expected my team to, like, not all back off, but... it's fine. Like, this is spin built when they have literally nothing to stop you. You just spin to win. Also, I think I yelled at Falset for clearing that wave. I needed it to heal. But again, I make it to a structure, and I just hit the structure, right? Like, cut the middleman. Hit structure.
But you do that because they're doing bot, so they can't come up and deal with that because they're too busy doing something else. You know? So it's
yeah, but you would have gone bot to defend it, still lost your fort, and not gotten this.
Fair. But why? Okay, in that case, why did you end up leaving bot altogether, even though you had clearly been winning the fight?
Because we were, first of all, missing soak. We can get the fort in a lane where they already had a fort. We're behind on the map, right? So, having 2 forts dead versus 0 forts dead is really bad.
Okay.
Having 3 forts dead versus 1 fort dead is less bad. Because at least we have one lane where we have a fort down.
Even pressure. Well, even like natural pressure.
Yeah. And the passive XP isn't as bad, etc. So here they're a little bit overextended, so we hope to see if they rotate.
We're gonna set up for Juice playing.
Sadly, Murden missed his Q.
Fish literally griefing in a pro game, shaking my damn head.
I tried to pop Raph, but I didn't get to pop it because it was like on a 0.1 second cooldown here. Holding ground, wrecking my ass.
Yeah, no, Holy Ground's like really annoying when I try to spin sometimes. Oh, that's like their only form of Heartsy Valkyrie.
But here's, I just go in and spin because, well, this was a little bit far. But
once the holy ground is down,
at this tower, right? This was a really good spin, where I could have just backed off, but it's just such a good spin. This is just too much entering the fort range. That's what leads to my death. It's getting hit by the fort. Oop. Anyway, then we happen to have a boss fight, which didn't go too well. Oh well. Waste Diva's time. Because we can clean up the boss during this time, so making the death timer longer isn't actually as bad as it seems. Because, you know, else they can just push with this boss.
Mm-hmm.
And we still even get a little bit of this thingamajig.
Alright, we're alive.
Do you know why I don't clean up this camp?
Because it's not hitting any structure.
There is no structure for it to hit. And
fair.
This makes it that much more dangerous for them to soak this wave. It's on our side of the map.
Fair. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Greffer told me about it. The siege giants, you don't really ever have to worry about them until they're about to start hitting your fort, like your building.
Mm-hmm.
That's the optimal time to clear them because it's late enough so that you didn't waste time earlier, but it's not so late that they've actually done damage.
So this is actually really unfortunate. I was banking really hard on the Hogger spin in this fight, but he did it a little bit. He did it a little bit imperfectly, which means he bounced out right as I went in.
Oh,
and then we don't get to contest the point for long enough for the holy ground to run out. So then this fight went really
but you're living though.
I mean, I get to heal off their entire team, and they waste so much time on me letting Verse and my team do stuff, right?
Like they're all so low now.
And then I get to be like, hey, I still have Wrath because I have good Wrath management. Full heal.
Oh, I suddenly have my whole health bar. Feels good, man.
Well, not suddenly. I planned that out. I mean, I was at 10%, right? I could have just harfed.
True, but it is very sudden. Sudden, not unexpected, though.
And I get to this wave just in time to prolong the Wrath again.
And then what? Are you gonna get the camp? I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
To prolong the Wrath again. And at this point, I have my Wrath cooldown back.
Yeah. So now you're just like, all right.
And so when you plan out where you want to go after everything that you do, that's what you can do with your Wrath cooldown, right?
Yeah. No, that's so cool.
And at the point that you have your Wrath back, by the time that you just used it, so you get to pop Wrath, that's that's when you feel happy.
Go get to hit this building while your team does whatever it is they're doing, something.
Yeah, so I get to just faff around a little bit here. Like, yeah, they have two people here. What are they gonna do?
They have two spinners. Literally unbeatable.
And see, this, my reference out again, it's only a 10-second cooldown at this point. So
yeah, and that's great.
That
10 seconds is not a long time.
That is how you want to use Wrath. If you want to make better use out of Wrath, try to do this, right? Try to have these rotations where on the way you know you can spear something to get the Wrath cooldown back. We get a really good pickup on Tyrael here. I believe this was actually, it was 1-1 at this point, and we looked like we were losing the game.
But now you're 15 seconds ahead of them.
And I think we actually just straight up win the game here, if I remember correctly. Oh no, not here, but in just a little bit. Yeah, we end with the boss. To get out of the semifinals and into the grand finals this game.
Nice. But yeah, at this point, it's like, well, they don't have Tyrael. Boss came up. Well, that's the game.
And you'll notice again, notice the Wrath cooldown. Hint, hint.
Yeah, it sounds like it's one of those things that it's like when you use Wrath, you got to be thinking about like what's your next thing you're gonna do that's probably gonna get you Fury unless something goes terribly wrong. Whether that's go clear a wave, go take a camp, whatever.
Yeah, Sonya wants to always be active, especially if you have Wrath. But even without Wrath, this is sort of still the same playstyle you'll be doing. If I had W, I'd be walking up the WV's towers, but I don't, so it's a lot less rewarding too.
Like you know, I really like Leap. What I would be Leap. So like I go in with Leap to help my team kill someone, and then I go pretend I'm playing Malthael for 60 seconds.
Yeah, so the Leap go in, you kill someone, then get out. That's also really good playstyle. It does play very differently. Also, fucking Gus, dude. He had Sank, he just couldn't use it. It got interrupted.
Oh, feels good, man.
And then, you know, me hit structure, me is Sonya.
Ooga booga, destroy core, you know how it is.
Yes. Anyway, I hope that helped. I can send you this replay if you really want me to.
No, I got the gist of it, which was spin build's good, and
spin build can be good if they have literally nothing to interrupt it.
Yeah, like they literally had like Valkyrie.
Yeah.
That's like it. And I mean, if you're using Valkyrie to interrupt Sonya's spin,
yeah, you're like, I can just dodge that, no issue.
Like somebody short trying to shoot on NBA, you're always reaching. Haha.
Let's see.
That was really bad. Don't laugh. That joke was awful. Point is, Valkyrie's not great at stopping the spin. But yeah, no, that was quite helpful. Now I understand like the idea behind like mini-map decision making, that sort of thing, and then how we can apply that to like, so you're doing something that's like low mechanical effort, but that means you can look at the map and say, okay, after this I gotta do this, and after that I can maybe go do this to get there.
Yeah.
And then just kind of develop a rolling strategy.
Yeah,
so that was very enlightening.
So it's all about, you know, what is the next thing? Right? Because you never want to be caught with your pants down where you're like, well, I just cleared this wave, but I have no idea what to do next.
I cleared this wave, now what?
And if it turns out, because of what happened because you were typing to your Anduin in chat, well, that's a very easy fix, right?
Yeah.
But this, honestly, this applies to literally every hero in the game, right? When you're mounting up, assess the situation and think like, what the fuck am I gonna do with my mount?
Like, where am I going?
Because
and why are we going?
Because they say it's about the journey, not the destination, but in HOTS it is really just about the destination.
Hopefully you don't get interrupted on the way there, but still.
I mean, hopefully you don't walk around for 20 minutes.
Heyo.
But yeah, that's...
Alright, it's just so funny to me, like, now that when I'm not playing the game, I bumped my when I'm not playing the game and I actually see myself doing that, I'm actually just thinking about how what's going through my mind when I'm playing when I do that. So crazy to see, like, in the third person, you know?
I can tell you. You're thinking about your team and what they're doing. Note how I didn't bring that up a single time. Because it's just not important.
The only time you really mentioned my team was like, you are talking to Anduin much. Not Anduin's talking to you.
Exactly, because the thing is, you can whine about your team all you want. It's not going to get you anywhere. Right? Unless you're playing like a 5-man competitive team, in which case, you tell your team to shut it until the replay review. So you still don't talk about it mid-game.
Fair.
But yeah, I think that's everything I have. I hope you have a very nice time at D&D, I believe.
Yeah, I'm doing that. soonish. I don't really. I already forgot when we're going. Probably like in an hour. But regardless, yeah, no, I appreciate the look, the experienced pair of eyes on it. I will see what I can do on applying the idea of planning ahead, especially on a map like Warhead Junction, which is so macro heavy.
Yeah, I hate playing Warhead Junction. It's but at least it's a macro map, right?
Hey, at least now I realize, hey, I just need to find opportunities to go hit building.
Exactly, you know? Because when you're hitting buildings, you shred them so fast as Sonya. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you today. I'm going to end the recording here. I'm going to put it up on the YupTubs for you.
Sure.
I'll give you a link to it before it actually releases because I like put them on a schedule, which I haven't been keeping up properly with my other coaching sessions.
Schedule.
But yeah, I'll give you a link as soon as it's uploaded. So yeah, look forward to that.
All right, appreciate it, man.
If you have any follow-up questions, let me know.
Sure.
And yeah, have a nice evening.
Thanks, you too, guys.
See ya.
See ya.